division is Terry and Braden. Braden's good. Actually, I'm more worried about Braden than I am Terry. Okay.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Wombo Combo Show. My name is Ben Kepler.
Ben Yukonis, here as always. Not always. Sometimes I sleep through. Anyways, to start off the show, I want to talk about hockey.
Yeah, give me something.
So over the weekend, Ovechkin scored goal number 896.
895.
895.
Yeah.
He scored 895. He is in sole first place, all-time goal leader. He passed the great one over the weekend. Props to Ovi. As much as I hated him growing up, I have learned to respect him. He's a great hockey player. He's been doing it for 20 years now,
Yeah, something
something like that. So, hats off to Ovi. Hats off to Washington. He's killing it.
Yeah. And shout out to, I think it's the Islanders, the Rangers, whichever team they played. Thanks for letting him score there because he plays us next.
I didn't want that to happen here, to be honest.
Don't want him doing that in Pittsburgh. So shout out whoever let him get that goal. We don't want it. What's up, guys? So getting on kind of the football side of things here, Ben. Something I wanted to talk to you about here today. We have a couple different topics before we get into our mock draft. I'm going to go over my mock draft 1.0 with Ben here today and you guys as well. We'll look for your reactions. Let us know what you guys think of my crazy picks. Something I wanted to talk to you about, though, was the Cincinnati Bengals, the hot news out of Skyline Chili Town. The Cincinnati Bengals, their lease for Paycor Stadium is up in June of 2026.
Yep.
VP this week said, I don't know. I guess we could play anywhere next year. I want to know from you.
It wasn't a very promising answer that they're going to stay in Cincinnati. So, like,
yeah, no, not at all. Guys, I want to know from you. Let me know in the comments. Where do you think, if the Cincinnati Bengals theoretically were to move, where do you think they would go? What city would be the city that you think that they would end up? Let me know in the comments. I'll look for those. Should be interesting.
I say Canada gets his first NFL team. They put him in Toronto.
I think with the hot water,
it would keep him in the AFC North.
It would. I feel like if I was to pick, it would be either Columbus, Ohio. It would be
Columbus.
Yeah, Columbus, because they already have Ohio State there. St. Louis, San Diego, or just because it's close to the heart here, because I like the Raiders, the Oakland Raiders. They should go take a team back.
Nah, I say Toronto. Keep them in the AFC North.
Yeah?
Yeah. If they do, in fact, leave Cincinnati. I don't think they're going to leave Cincinnati.
I don't think you would keep them in the AFC North then, because then you would have, they would be like so close to the Buffalo Bills in Toronto.
So?
I guess maybe they would switch it up a little bit and we would get like
Miami. Why switch it up?
I guess.
It'd still be, anyways.
Yeah, I don't know. It'd be crazy.
Yeah, there's no reason to change it.
Yeah, what's up, LG? We're just talking about the news about the Cincinnati Bengals, and then potentially needing to move by 2026. Another thing I wanted to talk about here with you, Ben, was Travis Hunter did do some sort of reps this week. He did show off for some teams.
Mm-hmm.
Want to know something crazy? He only did wide receiver reps.
Really?
Yes, he did wide receiver reps basically only. Now, he didn't really necessarily run routes. He more or less showed his elusiveness. It was pretty much like stutter step turns.
Yeah, so he did like drills.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the
wide receiver drills or whatever drill you want to call it.
Some like cone drills and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
To show your feet work and your
speed
quickness
and stuff like that. Another thing I wanted to mention on it, as we get into my mock draft 1.0 here coming up, is
an interesting one.
Yes, it is. There is a rumor that this performance has impressed the Cleveland Browns enough that they might switch up to Travis Hunter as the number 2 pick. So that's something to look forward to. I don't know if that would be the smartest move for them or the best for Travis Hunter's career. Guys, let me know what you think about that. But the rumor has it that Cleveland's pretty impressed by Travis Hunter's little performance there.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's just Kenny Pickett's not going to be able to get him the ball.
I know, but here's maybe the crazy thing, and maybe the Browns realize this, and us who aren't in the inside of the NFL, we don't realize. Maybe people don't like Shador enough that Cleveland believes they'll be able to get him with pick 33 because they are the first pick in the second round.
I don't think Shooter is gonna fall out of the first
Me
round.
Nor do I, but, as much as we like to say we know everything that's going on in the NFL, there is always something crazy that happens, and maybe that is the thing. Maybe
Yeah.
people really don't like Shador, even though you'll find out in my draft that I don't share that opinion.
Yeah, I don't share that. I think Shooter should be drafted in the top 10.
I think his accuracy alone is good enough. I don't know that he necessarily has the arm power, yet. Yeah, he
I
doesn't
mean,
have a
that's
cannon.
never really been a problem for NFL quarter. I mean, look at Drew Brees. He was at it when he was coming out of college. His arm strength wasn't great,
Yeah, he had a
and now
facilitator's arm.
now he's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
So like,
100%. Absolutely. Jen, what's up, dude? Long time no see, man. Glad to see you in chat here with us today. Ben, let's jump into my draft. It should be pretty fun.
should be fun.
As we all know, it's pretty set in stone who's going to be going with the number one pick.
Yes. So
I got the
obviously
Titans.
Cam Ward
Mhm.
going to the Titans at number one.
Now-
Number two.
I wanted to mention on this that the Titans did cancel their meeting with Shedeur Sanders,
Yeah,
so it is pretty locked.
Yeah,
at
there.
this
Yeah,
point.
it's been locked in for a while.
Right.
Like it's just So and then we agree. Number two, Abdul Carter to the
Mhm.
Browns.
Unless there's what we just talked about.
And yeah, unless they really want to get that quarterback now
Right.
instead of later.
Right.
So which, I mean, they could easily take Shedeur Sanders at 2 overall.
I think that here, while we're talking about pick 2 and pick 3, I think that these guys are interchangeable, and we can't really put our finger on which one's going to go where.
Yeah, no, these ones are interchangeable.
Yeah, and
Either one could go at 2, or either one could fall to like 4 or 5.
100%. I think that I think that at least in my 1.0 mock draft, guys, as we get up leading to the draft. Yes, Jim, we are talking predictions today. I am going to say that it's still Abdul Carter to the Cleveland Browns, and then number 3 is Travis Hunter.
Travis Hunter going to the Giants.
It's going to be Travis
I
Hunter.
like that. I like that. I like that.
Now, 4 in your draft, I believe you had Travis Hunter going to the Patriots. Is that right?
I did in my
You
first
did?
mock draft. Yes.
I have them taking the best tackle off the board in Will Campbell. I think that that's going to be a good pick for them for Drake May.
Mhm.
He's going to need time in the pocket this year. Now that he's got Stephon Diggs, Pop Douglas, maybe a big year coming up for him as well. Hunter Henry was great already last year for him.
Yeah.
So I think that's a great pick for him. I think it fills a hole that's that's needed. So I have them taking Will Campbell in the first round. Also, if you heard,
No, it's a good pick.
yeah, if you heard Mike Vrabel, he talked pretty highly of Campbell as well. So it
Mhm.
kind of sounds like that's the route they're going, guys.
I mean, and just off of Vrabel's head coaching career down in Tennessee, running game was huge down there with Derrick Henry, and offensive line was huge.
And having a
blocking.
high end left tackle as well.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
They had what's his name?
What's his name from Bussin' with the Boys?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Ah,
You think of it. I'll move on to the next pick because I know it's going to
Let's
come
move
to
on because I won't remember.
you. Okay. Next pick, I have Duval Nation. This is the Jags. I have them taking, I think, the same pick as you, unless you had them taking Campbell here.
I had the Jags taking Campbell. You have them taking Mason Graham.
Yes,
which
I have
like. I do like this pick for them as well.
I think this is the pick for them. If you look at what they already have on the Jaguars defense, they have exterior linemen and
Yes,
linebackers.
yeah,
They have
got
good
edge rushers.
They have edge rushers, they have pass rushers, but they don't have that solid block in the middle. This is the best available one for that in the draft with Mason Graham. I think he goes number 5.
Yeah.
That's what I think on that one. Number 6, I'm in agreement with you. I think number 6 is set in stone. This is Ashton Genty. I don't think that the Raiders would take Tet McMillan instead, but either way, they're going to go wide receiver or running back here, and I think it's Genty. They'd be stupid for them not to take Genty.
Yeah, no, Genty's the higher rated player over Tet.
Absolutely.
Sure.
And then if you look
Like
if you look at how the Raiders have ever operated when they're good, they always have a good workhorse running back.
Yes.
And I think this is a great fill. You mentioned last week that Mostert would be paired along with him so that the pass game running back, he would get some time off the field to recover for first and second down for his big burst runs. I like this for the Raiders. Let me know what you guys think in the comments on that. A lot of Pete Carroll fans, not necessarily Raiders fans, but Pete Carroll fans shouted out on yours, and we're mentioning Pete Carroll won't take a running back with the number 1 pick. He doesn't do that. He does like to have an awesome running back, but he'll take it later. Well, he did take Charbonnet in the second round of the last year that he was the head coach for the Seattle Seahawks. So
Yeah.
it looks like he's been searching for a great running back to build around an offense that he's going to
Yeah.
lead. So that's why I'm still going with Genty.
And why not get the best one in the draft this year?
Absolutely. Probably one of the top 3 athletes in this draft. Moving on to a little bit more of a boring pick. This one's a little boring,
But a need.
but it is a need.
for sure.
The Jets, I have them taking Armand Membo. And the reason why is because now we have Justin Fields up there.
Yes.
He needs to be able to move around. And taking the second best tackle, I think, is the best option for them. Terry, what's up, dude? Yeah, just wait, Terry. You're gonna see. You're gonna see. But yeah, I think that's the second tackle off the board. I think that's a big need for the Jets. And I think this is just plug and play for them. Moving on to maybe the spicier of a pick. My Panthers, my newly acquired team that I'm rooting for, I have the Panthers taking Tet.
I see this.
And I think that's a great ad. I do.
don't. I still think the Panthers could get a better pick there.
What would you take?
Either the corner, Barron, who you have next, or Tyler Warren.
You think a tight end?
Mhm.
Okay. Well, I personally, for me, I think what they're missing is the big play wide receiver who's not necessarily the big play in the sense of what Leggett can do, because Leggett is fast. He's a decent route runner, maybe not the best one. But Tet is more of like your DK Metcalf, your deep guy, jump ball guy. They don't have one of those. Coker is not that. Adam Thielen's older.
Yeah.
He's not that.
No.
This would add that to the roster.
Adam Thielen's never been that.
He hasn't.
He's always been like a possession type wide receiver.
But this is kind of in the same play as you with the aspect of tight end. Like, I'm getting a bigger offensive body onto the field who can get the ball and secure it.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm going with that. I think it'd be a decent ad for Bryce Young. I think that adding another weapon for him is something they can look forward to. Last year, they added 2 offensive weapons with their first and second round pick. Second round pick was obviously a guy who hasn't played more than a couple downs. Sat on my fantasy football bench for the entire
Brooks.
year.
Yeah,
Jonathan Brooks, first round pick being the wide receiver.
I wonder how that's going to go this year with him and Hubbard.
I don't see him playing. I don't think he'll play at
Not
all.
a lot.
No, I don't think he'll play because he's hurt.
He's hurt again?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He hurt. He got hurt in the season. Yeah. So I don't think he'll play at all in 2025, Jonathan Brooks. So that's why I see Tet as a possible ad for the Panthers at 8, guys. Coming up at 9, this is the Saints. This is LG's team.
Yep.
I've got them taking the best cornerback off the board. Now, they lost Paulson Adebo. They lost Marshawn Lattimore.
Yes, they did.
They need a filler, and they
do.
Why not go with the best possible one in the draft? If maybe he's 1A, 1B, because there is another cornerback we'll talk about in a little bit here who's also very good. But Barron, I have him going to the Saints. I think this is plugged in. If they don't go crazy, like you said, with a quarterback, I think cornerback could be the possible position that they fill with the first round draft pick.
I could see them going either way, honestly.
They're in rebuild mode.
So, they're in rebuild mode. Me personally, I still think they're going to take Jackson Dart with that pick.
I feel you. The reason why I went with Barron,
Jackson Dart is just rising on draft boards for teams.
I know.
Like, it's just
he really is.
He threw in shorts at the combine, and people are falling in love with him now.
Typical.
I mean,
this is the season for it, right?
You never know. You never know on a guy. So, like,
Terry says Brooks is out for the season. Yeah, Terry. And then LG in chat says we need that bad. So what my thought process on that was, just real fast, was they're going to pay Derek Carr. They said they're going to pay Derek Carr. Okay, we're going to live with Derek Carr this year.
Yeah.
And we're just going to build our defense. We sold Lattimore because we knew we were going to get close to rebuild mode. We cut Taysom Hill, who's a fan favorite.
Yeah.
So let's start rebuilding the defense. This is our new Marshawn Lattimore.
Yeah.
Aaron.
Okay. Makes sense.
Number 10.
It's a good pick. Still.
Yeah, I thought so. Number 10. I think this is going to be a pick that is highly needed for this team. They did bring back Kevin Byard, but I have the Chicago Bears taking the number 1 safety off the board. Malachi Starks.
Another safety.
I like this.
Big play safety. Too.
I like this pick. I think that if there's any spots remaining that the Bears haven't paid $1 million to fill that position, because that's what they're doing, it's safety. They have Kevin Byard, like I mentioned, but he's old. Let's face it.
They have the kid from Gateway.
Yeah, Brisker. They
Brisker.
also have Brisker. He has concussion problems though,
Yeah.
which kept him off the field
And
for a good bit of the season last year.
yeah.
So let's add Malachi Starks. Brisker can still play. He's more. I don't really consider Brisker the best in coverage. I consider him better on a dump down to a tight end, tackling that tight end before he gets to the first down line, or a
Yeah.
run play where he
He's
smashes.
he's like Joe Milton-esque. Even though
Mhm.
Joe Milton is technically a corner, but I mean, he's good at that hybrid safety role where he can
Mhm.
come in the box.
Are you
and
talking about Hilton?
Brisker?
Yeah, are you talking about Hilton?
How he was.
Yeah, you said Milton.
I said Hilton.
I heard Milton on
Well,
that.
I
So
said
I was
Hilton.
like, bro,
I'm pretty
Milton,
sure
a
I said Hilton.
quarterback?
No,
I
not
don't know about that, homie.
no Hilton.
That's a little bit of a weird
Former
comparison.
Steeler
Mhm.
and former Bengal. Now I forget where he's at, but
LG in chat
anyways.
said while we were talking the Saints thing there, he says they only have Kool-Aid McKinstry and Alontae Taylor on the roster as cornerbacks right now. So Jahan Barron, that's
I
almost
mean,
like
it
penciling.
makes sense. It makes sense to do that.
But we have the Bears taking Malachi Starks here, guys, at number 10. Coming up at number 11 is my second cornerback off the board. This
Yes,
is
sir.
the other one
Yes,
who I
sir.
could compare is 1B or 1A. And this is Will Johnson.
Yes,
I
I like
think-
Will Johnson a lot.
He's very good. I think he would play better in a 4-3 zone or 3-4 zone blitz defense.
Okay.
I think that's more his style because of the
Don't-
way Michigan
Don't
was.
the Niners run a? Oh, they run a 3-4. But I mean, that doesn't really affect the corners that much.
Niners run 4-3.
Do they?
Steelers run 3-4.
Niners run a 4-3.
Yeah. There's only like 2 other teams that run 3-4 in the NFL.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
we're one
right.
of the rare
That's
ones
right.
who do.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
right.
Yeah, I have them taking Will Johnson. Now they obviously let Charvarius. I almost slaughtered that name. Charvarius Ward.
I thought he was a free agent.
He went to the Colts. So now
Yeah.
we need to replace him. This is kind of under the same mantra as I had with the Saints.
Okay.
We're just going to replace our really good cornerback who we just lost
Yeah.
with a first-round pick.
Okay.
Most first-round pick cornerbacks in the last couple of years have been pretty dang good.
Unless they get drafted by the Steelers.
Yeah, I mean, Joey Porter ain't bad. Come on.
He wasn't a first round pick.
Technically, but he was
wasn't
pick
a first-round
32, which if there would
Which
have
it
been
should
enough
have been,
picks,
yeah, it
yada,
should have
yada,
been a
yada.
first-round pick.
Anyways,
Anywho.
Will Johnson, the first or second Michigan player off the board. Because I had
Yeah.
Graham, I believe it was Mason Graham going number 5. Coming up with the next pick, the 12th pick in the draft, the Dallas Cowboys, America's team.
Right.
I have them adding Luther Burden the third. I have Luther Burden the third going there.
Okay.
He is more of a slot wide receiver. I can see him going in there and doing such.
Mhm.
Obviously, CeeDee Lamb gets moved more to the outside. Luther Burden, a burner wide
CeeDee
receiver.
Lamb's always been an outside
Mhm.
receiver type,
Mhm.
anyways.
Every once in a while, when Cooper Rush was in, they would put him in the inside because Cooper Rush needed the help to get to the.
Yeah.
But yeah, he will be back on the outside. I think that Luther Burden is the pick for the Cowboys. Did want to mention, I didn't get to mention this while we were doing our pregame or pre-draft news here. The Dallas Cowboys did make a trade this week for a guy that we wanted.
Not necessarily a big trade, but it could end up being a big trade.
Absolutely.
They traded for Joe Milton.
And to add on that, Joe Milton picked to go there.
Yes.
So
Son of a bitch.
we had the option.
We were in it. We were
had
in
the
talks.
option.
We were in talks with the Patriots for him.
But
But at the end of the day, he was like, I want to go be a Cowboy.
true, and you don't expect the Patriots to ever trade the Pittsburgh Steelers anything. Like, come on.
Yeah.
There's too much 2000s rivalry there. But yeah, Dallas
Right.
Cowboys.
Especially with Vrabel being the head coach now.
Exactly. Exactly. I was going to add to that. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, 12 Cowboys, Luther Burden. That's the pick for me. Next one I have, this is based off of news that we just got this week. Teron Armstead.
Yep.
Left tackle for the Dolphins. They traded for him from the Saints.
Yep.
He's retiring.
Hanging him up.
Hanging him up. I think it's after 11 seasons. I could be wrong. Could be 9, somewhere in there. It's been a while. But he is retiring, and I have them replacing him. This is where Josh Simmons goes. This is the third tackle off the board in the draft. Josh Simmons, Ohio State. I have him going with the 13th pick to replace him, Armstead, that is, on the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah,
I think that's a decent pick. I don't really necessarily see them taking a wide receiver or any of the linebackers who are available there. They're already paying a lot of money to their linebacker room in Bradley Chubb and the rookie who they're going to have to sign this year.
Yeah.
Number 15. Name escapes me. You like him. What's his name? Number 15 on the Dolphins. He's a linebacker. He's really good. We'll come back to it.
Phillips.
Phillips,
Yeah.
thank you. Yes.
More of an edge rusher. But
yeah, linebacker, edge rusher,
Yeah.
and they have Jordan Brooks this year too, who they paid a substantial amount of money to off of the Seahawks in the last free agency.
Yeah.
So
So-
I don't see them going linebacker, which is where the best available players are
uh,
outside of Tyler Warren at this point in time.
Yeah. And before we move on,
Mhm.
Tyreek Hill on his TikTok has some interesting hints that he might be moving on from the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, go check out Cheetah Bo Hill's TikTok. Look at his
So-
second TikTok on there, and tell us what you guys think about that.
This, I mean, I like the Josh Simmons pick here, but if they move Tyreek Hill, expect them to do something different.
I can see that. It's
Or maybe they trade Tyreek Hill and get another first round pick.
go back to back.
Yeah.
Get number 15 pick from the Colts. No, or 14 pick from the Colts. No, I'm kidding. Colts, you're up next. To all my Colts fans out there,
Yeah.
your wishes come true. Tyler Warren is coming to the shoe.
I like the pick. I
Doesn't
don't
have to change uniform, same colors.
Right? Really, literally, pretty much, yeah. Just a lighter shade of blue
Yeah.
in Indianapolis. But I don't think he's gonna make it to the Colts.
You think he's a higher
I
end?
still don't think he's gonna make it to the Colts. I think he's gonna go 7, 8, 9.
7, 8, or 9. You think
7, 8, or
you
9.
think Panthers are the highest chance, or do you think the Jets are the highest?
I think the
chance?
Jets are the highest chance.
Okay. We'll see coming up. We will see coming up. LG says I like Will Johnson better, but both are pretty good. He's talking about the cornerback situation in the Saints, and I have him taking Barron. So you like Johnson better? I think was Johnson the one who got hurt?
Will Johnson did get hurt.
So
He
we
didn't
really
play
get to
a
see
lot.
A lot of
his
senior
senior-
tape out of him.
Yeah,
huh?
no.
Okay.
Most of it's from his junior year, but he had a great junior year. Obviously, they won the national title and everything. So
Mm-hmm. Now, with my next pick, you had this guy going at 14. I have him going at 15.
yes,
This is the Falcons. I
Mhm.
have him taking Jaheed Campbell,
okay.
linebacker.
Yeah.
Edge, more linebacker. These listed
He's a
as
middle. He's a
linebacker.
middle linebacker.
He's a middle
Yeah,
linebacker.
he's a middle linebacker.
We'll see if maybe that's a transition thing, but probably not. A lot of these Georgia, Alabama guys, when they get to the NFL, the linebackers.
This guy is a middle linebacker.
Is he a middle?
Yeah, he's a middle linebacker.
Okay.
He's a green dot guy, someone who can lead your defense. He's a middle linebacker.
And who needs that more than anyone?
Probably the Falcons.
Yeah, because I mean, dude, Nathan Landman was their guy last year.
Yeah.
You loved him. He got a couple interception return for touchdowns for you, didn't he?
No, that was Anderson. Something
Anderson.
And he got hurt.
And he gets hurt a lot.
He got hurt like the game after he had that interception for a touchdown and played maybe 2 or 3 more games.
Okay, so there we go. We need our interior linebacker. This is the guy. This fills the hole. This is coming out of Alabama. This is prestige. So we're filling it for the Falcons there with Campbell.
No, smart pick. I like that pick. I like Jaheed Campbell a lot.
Now, the next one, I'm going to agree with you again. It's rare that you and I agree this much, Ben. So somewhere, if someone takes history of the Wombo Combo Show, write down this date, 4/8/2025, because this doesn't happen often. With the 16th pick, down in the desert, I have the Ohio State wide receivers meeting back up again, just like you did. Marvin Harrison Jr. will be accompanied by Emeka Egbuka with the 16th pick.
I think that's going to be a great pick for the Cardinals.
Me too. I think it's
a really good one for them.
So my thought is this with the Cardinals, and I kind of said this a little bit during your mock draft, is I think that the Cardinals are in a time period where they have to really put things around Kyler Murray and say, hey, are you him, or do we sell you while you're still young? Like, do we sell your contract while you're still young enough to be worth something?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I say just put one more piece around him, see if they can put it all together. Which, I mean, they're close. I think they're close.
100%. When DeAndre Hopkins was there, Kyler Murray balled out.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I mean, if you get Marvin Harrison Jr. a little more open with Emeka Egbuka being there, wow, his name is fun to say fast. But I think that'll open up the offense more. You got Trey McBride down there as well, highest paid tight end in the NFL.
They gave him a pretty penny.
So I think that putting all these pieces around him is the right thing to do. Trey Benson, running back from the second round last year, is also coming too. He's going to be playing more this season. So I like that pick for the Cardinals with taking Emeka Egbuka.
It's a good backfield with him and James Conner.
Absolutely.
I like that backfield a lot.
Absolutely. Now, the next team, the Cincinnati Bengals, who may be moving in 2026 to a new city. Who knows? Real quick, you know what they think is going to happen? There's potential of? The Bears can't get money to buy a stadium. The Bengals can't get money to buy a stadium.
The Bears are building a new stadium.
No, they don't have the money. They can't get the money.
They already I swear they already started.
They don't have it. They have the plans, but they don't have the money finalized in the
Oh.
background. So you know what they're thinking? The Bengals move to Chicago, and they share a stadium. Let us know in the comments what you think about that.
We don't need a third city that shares 2 teams.
I feel it, but that's what people have
Like
been talking about. Number 17, though, with the Bengals, I have them taking Mike Green, the simplest name in the draft. Mike Green, we've talked about him a couple times here, Ben. The guy, every time he comes on and does any type of combine work or any type of show you my skills work,
Yeah.
he crushes it.
Mhm.
And he's out of Marshall, which is a smaller school in the Sun Belt. Obviously, they don't get as much coverage on TV, so you don't get to see them as much. But I like Mike Green. I think that if they do plan on trading Hendrickson, Mike Green could be a replacement. That's kind of what my mentality was behind that. We'll see what goes on with Trey Hendrickson coming up. But for now, Mike Green goes to the team that might not be in the same city.
That's a good pick. I think the Bengals are going to go either edge rusher or interior D-line with that pick anyways. So
Definitely defense. It's not going to be
they're
offense,
gonna
I
go
promise you that.
Yeah, there's no way. If they go offense with this pick, other than offensive line,
Right.
I can see them doing offensive line because they need to get Joe Burrow some help.
Yeah,
with
100%.
pass protection.
Especially after cutting Alex Kappa. No,
Yeah.
100%.
So it's either O-line or D-line.
Absolutely. Next pick. You may have taken this too. I don't remember what your pick was.
I did Matthew Golden.
Did you?
To the Seahawks.
So I had the Seahawks
my
getting their
first
third
mock
wide
draft.
receiver. I think that was a smart idea. Since I now know that you took that, I couldn't remember. I thought you did. But I
Yeah,
wasn't sure.
we have a few here.
A few that are the
A
same.
few here similar.
But yeah, I have Matthew Golden being the third wide receiver off the board. I have him going to the Seahawks.
Yep.
I think that you can't start Jake Bobo. We mentioned that last week.
No, you can't start Jake Bobo.
Jake Bobo is not. He's basically a tight end, bro.
Yeah.
There's no way he can be playing as your outside wide receiver on the opposite side of JSN, or if JSN has to move to the outside. You realize that, right?
Yeah. Because Cooper Kupp's not playing on the
Yeah,
outside.
absolutely not. So get another guy in there. That guy, Matthew Golden, played in the Texas offense. I think he'll be ready for that role. I really like that pick, to be completely honest, Ben. That was a good pick by you, since you're telling me that you took that too. Next, Tampa Bay,
Mm-hmm.
the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
The Crew's up. And the Crew are taking probably my favorite edge rusher in this draft. He is. To
Yeah.
be completely honest, I know I talked Mike Green up a lot, but my favorite guy is James Pierce Jr.
Yeah, he's a good one.
He is good.
He's going to be a good one.
He's an athlete. He's a freak athlete.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's going to be a good one.
You watch his tape, and he gives you that scary human vibe, kind of like Harrison,
Yeah.
Debo
Mhm.
for the Steelers. You know what I mean? It just looks like, dang, I would not want that guy on my blind side hit me when I don't know he's coming.
So,
it would hurt.
He's second behind Abdul Carter. Abdul Carter's just out of this world.
Yeah.
But
there is no putting.
James
He's my
Pierce
favorite.
Jr. He's good.
Yeah,
He's
he
gonna
is
be-
really
He's still going to be good. Like
Next pick now. A lot of those wide receivers are off the board, which is why I don't have this team taking a wide receiver with this pick.
Mhm.
But I do think this is where they're going to go, because I mentioned in our 32 for 32 series, if you haven't checked that out, make sure you go to our profile, check that out. We got one for every single team, all of our predictions for this upcoming draft, and a little bit of the free agency that already happened. We got some of it right. Some of it we were a little crazy about, but make sure to check those out. But I have the Broncos taking Amarion Hampton.
Yeah.
Second best running back in the draft,
Yep.
potentially. He is very good.
Yes.
It could be one of those late round guys like an RJ Harvey,
Mhm.
who could be the next best thing that we just don't know about. You know, we don't know that is a first round talent guy, but
Yeah.
as per the moment, what we've seen, Marion Hampton is probably the second best running back in this draft.
Omarion Hampton, he's a late first, second round guy.
Early second round guy. Yeah.
So, like,
absolutely.
I mean, this is where this is like as high as he would go is here, or like in my mock draft, I have the Cowboys taking him.
Yeah, you do.
High.
You
top
have him
15.
extra high. Absolutely.
But this, I like this pick for the Broncos a lot, actually. Get him this nice, solid running back. They really don't have one. They got Audrey Estime.
They got Estime.
They like Estime there. They still got McLaughlin.
But neither of those
But
are.
they're not
knock your socks off running backs, guys. Those aren't like your guys that you're expecting at least one, maybe two 20-plus yard rushes a game.
So
That's
and
not.
this isn't the Mike Shanahan days where he can turn every running back into a 1,000-yard rusher.
No.
Like so.
No, I think Amarion. I think it's the right move, to be honest. And if it isn't him in this round, you're going to see the Broncos take a running back in the first 3 rounds, and they're also going to take a wide receiver in the first 3 rounds, guaranteed.
They're gonna get Bo Nix help for sure.
Absolutely, they love him, and they want to start off at a young age. Well, he's not really young. He's the oldest rookie quarterback last year. He was 25, but they want to start him off early in his career with the most amount of talent that they can put around him. So, Amarion Hampton, number 20 to the Denver Broncos, guys.
So this is like the last year where like quarterbacks are gonna be like 24, 25 years old because the COVID rules are gonna be done. Dude, that was so annoying. Like just quarterbacks staying in college football for 10 years. Like, dude, if you're not good, you're not gonna make it.
Yeah, true.
But except for Bo Nix. Bo Nix made it. But
Tyler Show coming out of this draft, I believe, is one of the big names when it comes to COVID
yeah.
quarterbacks who's been around for a
So
while.
I mean, dude, even Jaden Daniels was in college for like 5 years.
Right. He was.
So-
I think he threw the passes to, man, I can't remember who it was. There was someone he threw passes to who's been in the NFL for multiple years now. But anyways,
Yeah.
I want to get on to this next pick because
Yes.
this next pick is the spiciest pick of my
This
draft,
is
guys.
a spicy pick.
This is the spiciest one. This is my team. So this is just a crap dream. I don't even think that's the right word for it, but this is highly improbable. I have Shedeur Sanders going to the Pittsburgh Steelers at number 21. He falls the whole way
wild.
through.
That's wild.
The whole way through. No
yeah.
teams trade up. Nothing happens. Now it's hard for us in these
we're
mock
not
drafts.
with these mocks. We're not doing trades or whatever. We're just
Right.
we're doing where they're slotted, what they're picking, and that's it.
Now, do I think that maybe Cleveland or another team who is QB needy could trade up ahead of the Steelers in this draft to take Shedeur Sanders before 21? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, that's just
Absolutely. Especially if the Cleveland Browns take Travis Hunter, I could see them absolutely trading all their picks away and being Cleveland Browns to somehow get in front of the Steelers to take Shedeur Sanders. But in a non-trade, unrealistic world, Shedeur Sanders, black and gold, baby. Second quarterback from the Colorado Buffaloes.
If this were to happen, I would actually like it.
Me too.
If he fell this
Me
far,
too.
but he's not. I don't think he's going to fall this far. If anything, he falls no further than 9 to the Saints.
Okay. We shall see. Let me ask you this question. If Shedeur Sanders comes to the Pittsburgh Steelers, Ben, do you think he is better or worse than Cordell Stewart?
Better.
Yeah?
Yeah.
For sure? Because Cordell is actually pretty good.
I know. Yeah. Dude, if Cordell Stewart was drafted 10 years later, he would have been fire.
Mm-hmm.
But
I don't know if you remember this. Cordell was actually in the Pro Bowl and had like the second farthest throw.
Yeah, he had a cannon.
Yeah,
he had an absolute
throw like
cannon
74 yards or something like that.
He was in the wrong era of football.
Okay, how about this? How about this before you go on with, because this is on the topic. Danger Dave is in the chat here today. What up, Dave? He is saying he could see the Steelers trading up to 9 to take Shedeur Sanders.
No, I don't think they're gonna do that. Not this year.
I've never seen the Steelers when they trade up in the draft. They only trade up like 3 picks.
Yeah. Then in the last time they did trade up that far to 10, we all know that pick. But
yeah, we traded
Devin
up. We
Bush,
traded up more recently than that, though. We traded up.
I'm saying like for a big jump like that, we traded up from the low 20s.
You realize
to
who
the
the other trade up was, because this guy isn't doing very good either. It's our left tackle.
Yeah, Broderick Jones.
Yeah.
But that was still like we did last year. We traded up a couple spots to get the tackle from Washington. I can't ever pronounce his name.
Foyanu.
Yeah. Foyanu. Whatever.
Yeah.
Trade up to
play
get
this
him.
year?
And then we traded up, I think, like 3 or 4 spots to get Broderick Jones, who, granted, he has yet to play left tackle.
Right, he doesn't play his
They
position.
play him at right tackle. Play him at left tackle. Play the other guy at right tackle, and he's going to be fine. Because that's where he played. He played right tackle. He was the blind spot for Penix Jr. because he's a left-handed quarterback. So play them at their positions and see how they do.
Oh, Terry says, I missed a couple of these. I apologize, guys. Terry says it was Ayuk that Daniels threw to. Thank you, Terry. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
At Arizona State. Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Danger Dave was laughing about that and saying, "Wow." Terry says he also thinks the QBs are going to stay in college longer now because of NILs, and I believe I'm with him on this. They'll stay in college to their senior year because they're making
They
5.
still only have 5 years of eligibility now. Unlike the COVID years where you could get more
True.
years, it's still only 5.
But what he's saying is you won't have that many juniors.
Oh, no, 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 no. Yeah, that's yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's over with. They're
Yeah,
going to stay
but
for
you
all
won't
4
see
years.
guys who are coming into the draft being 25 years old. Like,
Right.
That's what I'm getting at.
Right.
Like,
Another one in here, the Danger Dave says, he says that the Steelers are going without having a QB if they don't do that trade up or take Shador with that pick. Now, there's a chance that we could take Jackson Dart because I don't have him going in the first round at all.
yeah.
Personally, I just
To
don't
me,
think that's
to
what
me,
he is.
that's more realistic at 21 for the
It
Steelers.
is. It absolutely is. But yeah, 21 guys. I have Shador Sanders as my wild pick of the draft. Coming up at the 22nd pick, I think this is pretty set in stone. This is an easy pick. This is his college coach drafting him. This is Loveland, tight
Yep.
end.
Yeah.
He's going to the Chargers.
I think this is a lock.
This is a lock. They don't
Like-
have a tight end. I think they might have Gerald Everett on the roster, but he's way past his prime.
They got Will Disley.
They have Will Disley. They let Stone. Is it Stone Smart? Is that his first name? Stone Smart was the other tight end. They let him go.
And Parham.
Yes, Parham's a
who
Steeler.
We signed.
So
Steelers signed.
I think Loveland's a pretty good pick. Put him with Justin Herbert. Let him have a dump down guy or a guy across the middle who can catch the ball and take a hit. I like that pick for them.
Yes, sir.
Coming up for the Green Bay Packers, I have Mykel Williams falling all the way to 23. Yes, that is far. Yes,
Yeah.
I think he's the 10th best prospect in this entire draft.
So
But not every team in the draft needs an edge. The
Yeah,
league's kind of saturated with edge rushers at this exact moment. There's a lot of good edge rushers out there.
right.
So
I mean,
I think a team who doesn't have good edge rushers
there's-
is going to take them.
Where could I see him going? I could see him. I mean, this guy could go anywhere. Really,
could
in the
go-
first
he
round.
could go-
outside of the top like 6.
See, the problem
This
is
guy can go anywhere in the first round.
100%.
Like-
The problem is that the teams that are 3 through 9 have such bad offenses
yeah,
that
yeah.
they have to go offense before they
Yeah.
can get defenses.
Yep.
But that is why Mykel Williams falls this far. I do like him. I do think he'll prosper up there. I think he's going to be great for the Green Bay Packers if they so choose to take him and he falls to this position.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
I agree. I agree. I
100%.
think this would be a great pick for the Packers.
He's
if
a
he falls
Georgia
this far.
product. Now,
So
have you caught on to something that there's been a lot of Michigan players that I've been taking in the first round?
Mhm.
We just had our third one a moment ago. We just talked about Loveland,
I also had 4 going in the first round.
right? I think it's the same 4 because next on my
Same
draft,
4.
Kenneth Grant.
Yeah.
He's going off.
Yep.
Now, I had someone tell me that they don't think that Grant, sorry. They think that Kenneth Grant is the second best defensive interior lineman in this draft. I do not think that. I do not think that at all. I actually kind of think that Walter Nolan is hidden as the second best, but he's going to fall later in my draft here. He didn't even make it onto your 32.
No,
Walter
not
Nolan.
in my first mock draft. No.
But yeah, so I have Kenneth Graham going to the Vikings. Now, they did get Jonathan Allen in the offseason. I understand that, but I'm going to add more to the depth of this interior defensive line. So we're going to add Kenneth Grant. Now, the person I just mentioned, Jonathan, is like a 31-year-old. So he's not going to be around much longer. So let's pass on his knowledge to Kenneth Grant. That's why I have him going with this pick. Next, I had a lot of tackles going in this first round.
Mhm.
And here's another one. This is Banks Jr.
Yep. We had this same.
You have this one as well?
Yep.
I have him staying in the same state as the college he went to. Texas tackle Kelvin Banks Jr. I have him going to the Houston Texans with the 25th pick. Yeah, 25th pick in the draft. I like that for CJ Stroud. Just continue to allow him to have more time to throw the football.
Yep. Well, I mean, plus they got rid of 2 guys on their offensive line this offseason.
Right.
So.
Now, they did replace them in some effects. They got Cam Robinson, and they added Trent Brown. But at the same time, Trent Brown is old, and they could use some younger bodies in there. And plus, depth never hurt. So that's why we're adding him there. If there was, I will say, if there was one of the top 3 available wide receivers who fell to this position, The Houston Texans will go wide receiver.
You think so?
Yes, because they don't have a wide receiver too, really. Tank Dell's out.
Yeah, no, they really don't.
Tank Dell's done.
It's really just Nico Collins.
It's just Nico. They've got Xavier Hutchinson if he's still on the roster.
Yeah, he's still on the roster.
They have John Mechie III.
He's also still on the roster.
And that's it. So that's why I think if a wide receiver is available, it'll go to the Houston Texans. So,
okay.
But I don't think there's one that's left at this point in time who they would take. The best one on the board would be Mayo Manor out of Stanford. I don't see them taking him that high.
Yeah,
So-
he's not a first-round talent.
No, he's not a first-round talent. So that's why I have them just going with the best available player for a position of need, and that's Kelvin Banks Jr. Now, coming up, here's the second linebacker from the Georgia Bulldogs coming off the board. This is going to the Rams. I think the Rams want to build on defense. I think that's going to be the mantra this offseason.
Yeah, they got
Build on
D-line.
defense.
They got D-line and Fisker and Verse.
Now let's put a linebacker right behind him.
Put a good linebacker behind him.
You know what I'm saying? Jalen Walker is my pick for the Rams. I have him sitting behind that fresh defensive line that he just talked about that was drafted last year. I think he'll be a great addition to the team. Offense kind of already looks like it's put together. Tutu Atwell is going to be the slot wide receiver. They're going to have Puka Nacua, and then you're going to have Devontae Adams.
Yes.
What else do you need? You got Kyron Williams running the ball.
Yeah.
And Tyler Higbee is, I'm pretty sure, still on contract. And if not, you have that kid that they drafted last year who filled in for him, who did pretty dang.
Yeah, Higbee's a good tight end, too.
Absolutely.
When healthy.
Isn't that who did I say Higbee?
I was agreeing with you.
Oh, okay. When he's healthy, when his knee's not getting blown out. But yeah, that's my pick for the Rams, guys. Jalen Walker going with the 26th pick, coming up at 27. You didn't put this guy on your list either because you didn't want to have to say his name, but I said, you know what? I'll try it. I'll do it. I'm not scared. I say everybody's name wrong already. Why not, guys? With the 27th pick, I have Donovan Ezeriuka. I'm sorry, buddy. I'm not trying to slaughter your name. I'm from Pittsburgh, and I can't read.
Ezeriuka.
But he's the edge out of Boston College. I think that he's pretty decent. I just because of who he is and his weird name, there's just something in my not weird name, but a name that I'm not normal. It's not normal for me.
Yes.
Normal spelling. But I could just see him being a Raven, us having to hear his name all the time, and just because I don't know how to say it now, I'm gonna have to hear Donovan has sacked.
Pair him up with Matabuke.
Yeah, I just have a feeling that that's going to be in our future. I have him going at the 27th pick to the Ravens, guys.
It's nice. I still like that pick. I mean, dude, there's just so many edge rushers
exactly
that can go in the first round this year.
That it doesn't sound bad if your team takes one.
No,
you know
it
what
doesn't.
I mean?
Like
the only team that doesn't need an edge rusher in any way, shape, or form is the freaking Pittsburgh Steelers. Don't need any more edge rushers. We have enough edge rushers.
Yeah, we got 3 good ones.
We have 3 good ones. But I digress. Moving on to my next picks. Edge is just going flying off the board here. This is kind of how your draft went as well. You had the Lions taking an edge rusher as well. You had James Pierce Jr.
Falling.
I have them taking Shamar Stewart.
Yeah, that's more realistic for the Lions. That's
right.
I think that's the guy who's going to be there for them. But
Shamar's
good pick. Good pick.
I like Shamar Stewart. I think he's going to fill in well on that defense. Opposite side of Aiden Hutchinson. Coming up with my 29th pick, I have Commanders taking the guy that we just mentioned a moment ago.
Yeah,
that was
Walter Nolan.
Yeah, out of Ole Miss.
That's a nice interior D lineman pick for the Commanders.
They have to replace interior defensive lineman that they lost. Deron Payne's getting up there. He's not necessarily the oldest, but he also hasn't been producing the best of best. The best game that he had, Deron Payne, was when they put him on the outside. He's the one who shut down Saquon Barkley in that Commanders win over the Eagles.
Okay. What just happened?
I don't know. We don't have chat up at the second. I apologize, guys. The computer just crashed. Ben, can you get that up for me while I finish up a little bit of this draft here? Coming up at 30, Ben, I had the Buffalo Bills taking Nick Scruton. That's the other Texas A&M player who's coded high in this draft. He's an edge rusher as well on the opposite side of Stewart. I have the Bills taking him. Having him set up on the opposite side of Greg Rousseau, I think would be an awesome pairing. I think that this is something that they need to look at. They are just like the Texans, though, guys. If a top wide receiver somehow falls the whole way down there, I can see the Buffalo Bills also taking a wide receiver if it is available for them. If one of those 3 that I already mentioned is out there, I could see them taking him in this, or that wide receiver in this draft. But I have them take him Nick Scruton for the moment.
Yep.
Now, next pick.
So
this is 31 I'm on. This is the Chiefs. The Kansas City can't win 3 Super Bowls in a row Chiefs.
Mhm.
Thank you. I have them taking Gray's Apple. That's the South Dakota or North Dakota? North Dakota State
Yeah.
tackle.
Yeah.
I have him going there. I think it's a great pick for them to continue to build that offensive line, like you mentioned with your mock draft, that the Kansas City Chiefs had a huge problem protecting Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl, and they need to continue to add to that line. Now, they traded away Thuney. Already, he's a guard. I understand that.
Yeah.
But we kind of mentioned these
And
North Dakota.
they franchise tag Smith,
And
the
they
other
franchise
guard.
tag Smith. He's a guard.
Mhm.
Now, bring in another tackle in who's a multi-versatile lineman now. He's played
Yes.
snaps across the line.
Yeah.
So they can plug and play him at any point in time across the line. I like that pick for the Chiefs. It is, I believe, the 5th tackle that I have coming off the board. Might be the 4th, but a 4th or 5th tackle coming off the board in the first round. Edge rusher, tackle, both deep in this draft, guys. Coming up with my last pick in the draft. This is the very last one. It's the Philadelphia Super Bowl winning Eagles. I have them taking the very first guard in the draft. They're taking Tyler Booker out of Alabama.
Okay.
Now, they need to replace the guy that they just brought in from last season off the Jets. They transferred him from right tackle to right guard.
Mhm.
Can't remember his name
Oh
right
my
now for
goodness,
some
I
reason.
can't remember his name
Yeah,
either.
yeah. Why is it escaping me? You know who I'm talking about.
I know exactly who you're talking
Chat,
about.
let me know. You're so helpful in that effect. But they need to replace him. He's now on the
Becton.
Chargers.
Becton.
Yes,
Thank
Mekhi
you.
Becton. Thank you.
Thank you, Terry. Thank you, Danger Dave.
Absolutely. I have Tyler Booker going there to replace Mekhi Becton, immediate plug and play. If Tate Ratledge was a little bit better, I could see them going for him just because he goes to Georgia.
Yeah.
Nothing else. It
Yeah.
has nothing to do with
Yeah.
if he's better than him. It's just because he went to Georgia and the Philadelphia Eagles draft the entire Georgia Bulldog team.
Love drafting that team.
Yeah, they love
From-
it.
from
They love
Georgia.
it. But that's what I have for this draft, guys. Let me know in the comments. What was my craziest one? Is there one that you really didn't like? Ben doesn't necessarily love my Ted McMillan landing spot. I can understand why. But let me know what you guys think. Is there a crazy one out there? That's just like, Ben, no, dude, that ain't it, Kep. That ain't it. Let me know in the comments.
I mean, obviously, the Tet one is kind of meh for me. I think Tyler Warren's the best pass catcher in this draft.
Best pass catcher? Okay,
Yeah,
I could agree.
from tight end, wide receiver
Mm-hmm.
perspective, and then your Shooter Sanders mock to the Steelers is.
You just think it's ridiculous?
I think that's crazy. I think that's absolutely crazy. I don't think the Steelers have a chance in hell for him to fall that far.
If they do, I'm praying to the football gods. I'm hoping we can pull it off somehow. Shedeur Sanders to the Pittsburgh Steelers 21 would be awesome. At least it would let us stop talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers needing to fill the quarterback position for 4 months until he's 5-3.
I think we're going to be talking about this for a while, and Mason Rudolph is going to be the starting quarterback week 1.
Oh, man. Well, hey, the computer shut down. Is there anything in chat that we want to shout out before the end of the... Yeah. Well, guys, at that, we are going to stay up here and chat along with you. If you are watching on TikTok or if you're here in that YouTube chat, make sure you stick around. This is the part of the episode where we do Q&A and talk with you guys about the episode. But if you are watching this recorded, we appreciate you for watching. Make sure you make sure you leave us a comment and let us know what you think. Make sure you share that along. Smash that follow and subscribe button. Help us grow our community. We want you to be a part of it for all of our future content. Make sure you check out that content. And until the next one, peace out.
Peace.
All right. Anyways,
All right,
guys,
we're
we're
still
back.
We didn't leave.
We didn't leave. We just had to do that one little thing, and now it's over. What do you guys think? What was the craziest thing about the draft? Was there anything specifically that you thought was like, dude, Ben, what are you doing?
Terry agrees with me that Warren goes top 10.
Terry, if you were to pick, where would you
He
say?
says Warren goes to the Panthers.
Panthers. Okay. Now, as a Panthers fan, I think I would like that, but I just don't. Do you do that? Do you say, hey, we don't have a great pass catcher. Let's start off by getting a great pass catching tight end first. Now, I guess you could.
The Raiders did it.
I guess you could. Yeah, but the Raiders have Jacoby Myers who only dropped 1 pass all season.
I know, but when you think of Jacoby Myers, do you think like really good wide receiver in the NFL?
No.
Yeah, thank you.
No, I don't.
Thank you.
No, you're right. You're right.
He's consistent. He's very consistent.
And they kind of did the same thing back in the day when they had Greg Olson, and then they finally brought in Steve Smith years after. But I, I don't know. I just the tight end position never excites me all that much. I've never been a bigger guy, so I never really thought tight end was all that
No,
great.
Steve Smith was before Greg Olson.
Mm-mm.
Yes, sir.
No, he's after him.
Steve Smith, wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
No, he was before Greg Olson.
They played at the same time.
Steve Smith came in the league before Greg Olson.
I don't know about that.
I know this for a fact.
Danger Dave says the Panthers need defensive help. If they were going to go defense, what way could you see them going? I personally would automatically say either Malachi Starks or Barron would be the two people that I would take.
I think if they go defense, I think they go Barron.
Barron? Okay.
Yeah.
Who the frick is the tight end we were talking about?
Olson.
Right.
Steve Smith's rookie year was like 99.
No. Okay. Yeah, let me know. Greg Olson draft. We're going to find out here live, guys. Greg Olson was drafted in 2007. When was Steve Smith drafted?
Okay. Then 2000. He was drafted in 2000.
2001. You are right. I was
See?
wrong. I thought it was way later. I thought Greg Olson was older than Steve Smith.
No.
Well, wrong
no.
on that one. Yeah, Danger saves. Dave says, "Yeah, we getting old, bro."
Yeah, right.
We are. We are.
Right. Shit.
I was 11 years old when Steve Smith was drafted. Terry says
Right.
he could see them going safety. I kind of agree with that. I mean, taking Malachi Starks, for me, on defense, I think there's two key positions that you build your defense off of, and then you go from there. I mean, outside of your line, you have your middle linebacker. We kind of talked about that with the Falcons draft pick. And then you have your key safety, and that's usually your free safety, right? It's usually not the strong safety, because the strong safety has a set, like, you're doing this, buddy.
Yeah.
You cover this area. If ball gets caught here, you're hitting this guy.
And he's more run support.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly. He more takes command from the linebacker, letting him know, hey, I'm going to be covered here. You need to shadow
Free
me
safety
back.
is more the guy sitting back, being a ball hawk.
Absolutely. What are some sleeper wide receivers you guys have seen? So, Dave, if I had some sleeper wide receivers, I like Higgins out of Ohio State. I think he could be decent. I like Xavier Restrepo.
Restrepo?
Yes, Restrepo. The reason why I like him is because everyone's hating on him because they think he's so slow.
Mm-hmm.
And now he did have a pretty slow time.
Yeah.
But sometimes them slow wide receivers with the best hands are the best guys.
Yeah, I'm with you on Restrepo. I like Restrepo. I also like Tez Johnson.
Oh, yeah, out of Oregon.
He also had a bad 40 time for his size, because he's like 5'9", 160
60 pounds. No,
yeah,
he's
60 pounds or something
small.
like that.
No, he is real small.
And he only ran like a 4.5 40.
It was supposed to be much faster than that.
But if you look at his game speed, the man's fast.
He gives you the Smith vibe.
Yeah.
From the Eagles.
Yeah.
He gives you that kind of vibe. Terry says Tez is too small, and Red says Restrepo ran like a 4.8, bro.
Yeah.
Now, Terry also mentioned a guy that I wanted to get to, and you and I have talked about him before. That's Nick Nash out of San Jose State.
Yes, Nick Nash is also a nice sleeper pick.
You know, he reminds me of is like a level of wide receiver he could be. And I've mentioned this a million times. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this on the show though. I called Puka Nacua out of BYU way before the draft. Way before the draft. I could pull the Twitter. Post that I did because I tweeted it. I was like, dude, this kid is their whole offense. He's going to be a great NFL player. Steelers, please take Puka Nacua.
Yeah.
And then I posted his highlights.
Yeah.
Man, got 0 views.
Anyway, what round did he go in?
Fifth round.
Yeah,
I could see this player going in the same way.
Yeah.
100%. Another guy I like is Pat Bryant. I believe he's out of Illinois, but he could be out of Syracuse. I get those two teams confused because they wear the same exact colors.
And there's no difference between their
uniforms at all. One has a number on it and one doesn't.
Yeah,
that's the difference.
One has an S, one has their number.
Yeah. So I have him up there as a decent wide receiver as well. Jalen Royals out of Utah State, decent. A real sneaky one who isn't really that sneaky because in college football his name got said a lot, but people aren't really talking about him, is Jimmy Horn Jr. He's out of Colorado. He's
Yeah.
expected to go either undrafted or 7th round pick.
His dad was a decent
His dad was
decent player
yeah,
for the Saints for
yeah,
years.
yeah. So I think Jimmy Horn Jr. is also a sneaky player
So,
who could
most
go
memorable for
undrafted.
that cell phone touchdown celebration. Remember that?
What's that?
Uh, Horn,
Oh
his cell phone that he pulled out.
No, that was. Did Horn do that too? Because Randy
Mhm.
Moss did that.
Horn did that.
Randy Moss definitely did it.
Randy Moss did it.
Or
Joe,
no. It was a Des Bryant that did it.
yeah, it's been done multiple
Okay.
times.
Okay. Oh, wait. Dangerous Dave says we need to fact check something. What are we fact checking? Trey Harris, decent name in the draft as well out of Ole Miss. I do like him as well, Dave. I know he's a bigger type name. What was that? Isaiah Bond. Terry, yeah, Isaiah Bond. I think the thing about Isaiah Bond that really gets people going is they see Xavier Worthy from last year. This guy comes from the same team. And they think they're going to get the same player. I don't know if that's necessarily true. Isaiah Bond was uneventful in the draft. Everyone says, "Oh, he's
Yeah,
going
in
to
the
break."
combine.
Yeah, he's going to break the record. Or yeah, I said draft. Yeah,
Yeah.
combine. He's going to break the record. He's going to be so fast. Da, 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 da,
Yeah.
da. And he didn't
Yeah.
break anybody's record.
No,
He wasn't even the fastest one there. His
no, his
teammate.
teammate was Matthew
So
Golden, who I think is the better wide receiver anyway.
Red says, yeah, Bond is a fraud. It looks like
Bond reminds me of Limas Swede.
figure eight skating. I'm
Remember
going
him?
to assume that you are Flock Vikings. It looks like you are. I don't know, though. Let me know. What's up, though, figure eight? How you doing? Yeah, Red says he's a fraud. Let me see here. Golden is 100% better. Terry says, I agree. And figure, yeah, we did figure you out. You are Flock Vikings. He's lost his. What is it, Flock? Are you no longer a Vikings fan? Did it just get orange in here? And now blue?
Producer Paul's changing the
Producer
lights
Paul's
on us.
messing with this up there, man.
He's just trying to figure out what color looks good.
All colors look good on me. Right, chat? Let me know. Anyways, why'd you guys turn it into a sauna?
L's in the chat for that comment.
What's that?
L's in the chat.
L's in the chat, bro. Relax. Relax. Guys, we have our Madden Fantasy League going on currently. We're in year 1. We have a
Franchise league, not fantasy league.
Oh, yeah, franchise league.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Same. Oh, all right. It
Yeah,
is
yeah,
fantasy because it's a
yeah.
video game. Whatever.
Yeah, it is.
But we just had our first Super Bowl. I did not win it. I believe the winner was Bruce.
The winner was Bruce. We are on our second season with
Mhm.
different teams this time around.
Yeah. Hey, guys, if you have any interest in joining our Madden League, it's fun. It's not even that serious. Pretty laid back.
Yeah, no,
Pretty good
it's
time.
really
To
bad.
be completely honest, Terry says,
Don't
I'm
quit
not
with 1
catching
minute
Ben
left in the
yet.
game.
We'll see. You might be able to, dude. Madden 2004 was the best. Okay, Danger Dave, let's have this conversation. Let's have. Oh my God,
Come
Paul,
on, dude.
Jesus,
Come on, stay there, dude.
No, you changed to whatever
Right.
color you want, but that was bright, homie. Danger
gotta
Dave,
get that clip.
best Maddens. I had it up on my phone today, and I was looking at all the Maddens. I would say the best Madden would be Madden 2010 or Madden 2014. Those would be my best 2 Maddens. 100%. Producer Paul summoning the sun.
All right.
yeah, you're right, though.
Oh,
Let me
Christ.
know which Madden for you guys in your childhood was the number 1 Madden that was like, bro, this got me hooked. Dave says, man, what's crazy is I'm pretty sure I didn't buy a Madden during that time. Dang, Dave. I'll tell you what, growing up for us, though, we were blessed because we had multiple versions of the NFL in a video game. There wasn't just Madden.
Yeah, we had Madden, we had NFL Club,
NFL Game Day.
NFL Game Day. We had 2K
And then we had Quarterback
for
Club.
a second, and then Quarterback Club.
My favorite, Game Day.
Game Day.
Game Day was my favorite. And the reason is because Game Day was the first one to implement the franchise portion. Now, Madden used to be, and 2K, used to be season only. You'd play the
Yeah.
season, you
Yep.
play the Super Bowl, it's over,
Mhm.
start all over again.
Yeah.
With this, you got to like draft a bunch of people,
Yeah.
and that was like what really got me into football. Is I got to take like
Okay.
some.
The only ones I ever really played, I played Madden, of course, and I played Quarterback Club.
Mhm. We tried to play it recently.
Yeah. And the only time I ever got to play Game Day was in the kids drop off place at Giant Eagle whenever your mom would go
Oh,
shopping.
yeah.
The
The
only
Eagles
place
The
I don't
Nest.
daycare and the
the
grocery
Eagles Nest,
store.
thank you. Yeah,
Eagles
that's the
Nest,
only
yeah.
time I ever like played game day, so I don't really remember it that much.
Dave says you guys are sleeping on NFL Street.
NFL Street was really good, yeah, and NFL Blitz Terry
NFL
mentioned
Blitz
as well.
better than NFL Street.
I think they were both really good. I feel like NFL Street was good, but I really liked NBA Street a lot better.
NBA Street was definitely better than
I liked it.
NFL
I just
Street.
liked it better.
Because
Red.
it's street basketball. Like street basketball is fun.
Okay, Red said he likes Madden 27. First of all, Red, you're not allowed to make any Madden jokes until you win a Madden game. All right? No, I'm playing. Red be losing by 60 and then talking that crap. No, I'm playing. I digress. Red, I'm coming for you. Listen, it's all part of the process, he says. Dave says NBA Street was fire. No, like I feel like growing up, that was like even like the show games weren't the greatest, but when Backyard Baseball came out, I was like, yo, this is fire, dude.
Oh yeah.
I love playing with, I don't know, there was one kid named something Sanchez, and he was freaking,
Pablo Sanchez.
It was a Pablo Sanchez? Dude, I'd be dinging home runs
Yeah.
left and right, my guy.
He was killing it.
Pablo Sanchez, yeah, Dave got it in the chat there. Y'all feeding me to Braden and expect me not to lose by 40, Red says. LOL. Oh, man. Yeah, no, dude, the nostalgia video games are out there. I really want to get another nostalgic video game night up with the crew here.
Yeah.
We'll have to do that again soon. Hang out with you guys because that's a good time. When we can get our video games to work. They're so old.
So
they don't work
we
anymore.
shouldn't use my Xbox because for whatever reason, I have to be connected to the internet to play Madden.
Yeah, and I have Madden. Like on my PlayStation.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have it. So we'll use that next time.
Yeah, I think it's because I don't actually have the game like
right, you're streaming
bought.
it.
I didn't purchase it.
Right.
So
that's why I can't play some of my games on the live. What else is there anything else you wanted to mention today, guys? I did want to ask you, since we're not in the portion where we take clips out, so I can really dive into the questions with you. Where do you guys think that theoretically, I think the Bengals stay in Cincinnati, but if they were to leave Cincinnati, what city could they possibly go to? Do you guys think?
Yeah.
And then let me add.
I said Toronto.
Let me add this in there too. I wanted to add this in there because when we were talking about the draft at 17, I mentioned the whole Chicago Bengals blah 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 thing. What if we just go to 34 teams, 18 weeks or 19 weeks?
Make another. Add two more teams.
Add two more teams. Give Chicago a second team so that team and the Bears can afford to pay for their new stadium. Okay. The Bengals stay where they're at, and either St. Louis, San Diego, or Oakland, or Oklahoma City gets a football team. What do you guys think about that? Let me know in the comments what you guys think about that.
Oklahoma City's a big enough market.
Yeah,
even the Thunder, man. Like, I mean, I like it. Don't get me wrong. An Oklahoma City Thunder football team would be sick, but I don't think the market.
I hear you. And here's the other thing about that. I would say here's both sides of the spectrum for me. When the Pelicans had to go up there to Oklahoma City during the hurricanes, we've seen Oklahoma City really absorb them in. Right? They really loved having them there, right?
Yeah.
Then they moved a team there. So I feel like if you guys said it's a small market, it might not be able to facilitate it. I feel like Oklahoma City would love it so much that they would make it work. You know what I mean? Like the people would show up for these games in the sense that there would always be filled stands. They would be able to make their money back on the investment, and the team would last.
Yeah.
Sounds like we got a special guest coming in. Is that right,
so
producer
we got
Paul?
Derp. Hopefully you guys will be able to hear him in your ears. That's going to be the big question. He's in Discord, so you should be able to hear him. And then if I set all the other audio up, they should be able to hear him on chat. So we'll just try it out and see what happens.
All right.
Go ahead,
Red
Derp.
says
let me
Hawaii
switch to
football
my
team.
computer real quick.
Derpy,
he
what
needs
is
a second.
up, man?
Yeah, I'm gonna need a second.
Oh, you're good, brother. You're good, brother. Yeah, Hawaii. No, Hawaii's not going to get a football team.
No, absolutely not.
Ben said Toronto
said
potentially
Toronto.
is his team. What do you guys think about
Or,
that?
You know,
I don't know. I don't know about that. Red says he saw Chicago. Terry says he thinks St. Louis. How would the divisions work, though? I feel like, Terry, you could probably move like the Colts out of their division and put that Chicago AFC team in that division instead and give the Colts to the Pittsburgh Steelers division.
No.
No? What would you do?
Keep
The
them in the
Titans?
North. Why would you take if they're in Chicago, you keep them in the North?
I guess. The Titans used to be in the North.
Central.
Oh, was it called the
It
Central?
was the
then?
Central. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There was only 3 divisions.
Red says, whoa, let's calm down. Don't be talking about my team. How does so what you're right, Terry. I get your question a little bit better. We would be adding 2 teams. How would the divisions work out? Because one of the divisions would have to have.
Yeah.
That's
they're
what
not
he's
going to
saying.
add. They're not going to
It
add
won't
2 more
work out.
teams.
You'd have to add a couple teams,
Mhm.
or you would
Now
have
do you
to
hear me?
make the
Yeah,
divisions.
we got you,
different.
Derp.
Yeah, Derpy, what's up, dude? Welcome to the Wombo Combo Show, guys. Derpy from our
Oh,
Red
shoot.
app side
I
of
think I lost
things
the neighborhood.
is over in here. I can hear him. I don't know if he can hear us though.
Yeah,
Derpy,
can he
out
hear
there.
us?
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah,
We
we
can hear you.
What's up, dude?
Can you hear me
Oh, shoot.
now?
The UFL
I don't
teams.
think he
You know
can.
what?
I don't.
Can you guys unmute yourselves in Discord?
Oh,
And-
because we're
yeah,
we're gonna
yeah.
get a shit ton of feedback.
No, I can mute you up here. You won't. I don't think.
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
All right.
Let's see
Hold
how it
on.
works. Darpy, what is up, man? Welcome on the Wombo Combo Show. We are actively talking about the Cincinnati Bengals and how they might potentially be moving to a new city next year. Where do you think that they could end up?
Ooh.
I said
What's
Toronto.
the most dumpster city you can think of besides Cincinnati?
I mean, the most dumpster city I can
Oakland.
think of is Baltimore, but we won't mention them.
I said
Our
Oakland.
examples. Oh, what did you say?
Oakland.
Oakland. Yeah.
Oakland, yes.
so we were
Oakland,
thinking-
100,000%.
What was that?
Send him back to Oakland. Send him to Oakland.
Yeah, I would say Oakland or Oklahoma City. We were saying St. Louis or San Diego getting a team back. Something along that nature. Maybe even Sacramento. That'd be another city I could think.
Yeah.
As long as it doesn't expand out of the States. I'm
I-
kind of tired of the expansions.
Dude,
Look at the Penguins,
NFL
for example.
Yeah, but I mean, the NFL wants to expand, so why not just expand to the country that's right north of us?
I feel like the political
don't
waters
deserve
wouldn't
it.
allow for it.
They don't deserve it, but it's just Toronto's a major city up there, and it's just to me that makes the most sense
Mm-hmm. I could
if the Bengals move.
I feel like if there's any team that's going to be moving to the Canadian realm, it's got to be the Bills. I don't think there's another team that could really make it in
You
that
know what?
effect.
I can see that.
Red,
I can
shut
see that.
up, dude.
What is he saying now? Bengals to Jacksonville,
look at Red.
Bengals to England.
He's like, I think Pittsburgh needs a good team.
oh my goodness,
Red.
red. It never
Red.
ends with red, man.
Always red. Oh boy.
But Derpy, what do you got going on, man? What's on your mind today?
What are we doing? What are the Steelers doing, man? What's our move?
So what we were talking about today's episode, we were going over my mock draft. And what I had thought is potentially we could be taking Shadur Sanders at 21. Dave, we'll see you later, man. Have a good night.
I wouldn't mind it. It's just like the drama. We already have enough drama in Pittsburgh.
I can see where you're going with that. With there being more drama added to Shadur Sanders. But is it really A, all that much?
I don't
And
think
B, isn't it less than Aaron Rodgers?
it's way less than Aaron Rodgers for sure.
That's
Yeah,
well,
yeah, you're right.
like so if you were to pick between the two guys when it comes to drama, I feel like
I would pick-
Aaron Rodgers
I would
is the drama guy, right?
for sure.
Right. I would pick Sanders in a heartbeat if it was between them two.
If it was between the two of them, you would take him. Yeah, me too. Me too.
Yeah,
Terry says, "Do you think Dion would allow that?" Oh, dude, I do. I think
exactly.
Dion
That's
would
the
be
question.
so happy. He pats the ball.
Would
Oh,
that-
that was the big talk of the day. I don't know if you guys heard that. Red in chat says one of the big things about Shedeur is he pats the ball before he throws it.
Tom Brady patted the ball before he threw it.
Well, so is Aaron Rodgers. so did Peyton Manning.
Yeah, that's apparently a trait that a great quarterback has.
Yeah, I just
So
don't.
I think
Go ahead.
I think if Shedeur falls to us, one, that's a steal for us. I think
100%.
we got it. I
Yeah,
think Shedeur is going to be
100%.
pretty good, but I don't think he's going to fall that far. At worst, Shedeur falls to 9.
I
to
think
the
he's going to the
Saints.
Saints.
You think he's going to the Saints too, Derpy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
Okay.
mean, that's if Cleveland decides not to take him at 2.
Exactly.
Which they could.
Well,
They
here's the
could.
thing about Cleveland.
They
I've
also
seen that
need-
they're looking at Jackson Dart.
Yeah, they're looking at Jackson Dart and then Derpy today. They were watching Travis Hunter do his wide receiver reps,
Mhm.
and it was apparent from reporters the Cleveland Browns were drooling over Travis Hunter. I thought they were Abdul Carter fans, but apparently they also like Travis Hunter. Maybe they're stuck in the middle. Derpy, one of the things that I mentioned for the Cleveland Browns is maybe somehow they know, maybe not know, but they have an inkling that Shedeur falls to 33, which is their next pick. So at 2, they take Travis Hunter, and at 33, they take Shedeur Sanders. Now, Ben's shaking his head no at me, and I can understand why, because Shedeur Sanders is the second best quarterback prospect in the draft, and him falling to the second round is pretty crazy, but that is a
I'm gonna
possibility.
be real.
Possibility.
I'm gonna be real right here.
Go ahead, Dirk.
What's up, Derp?
The Detroit Lions are more willing than winning a Super Bowl than ever happening. That happening, basically.
Throwing Detroit Lions shade out there, bro. He says the Detroit Lions have a better chance of winning the Super Bowl than the Cleveland Browns do of drafting 2 competent football players in the same draft. Red in chat says no one cares, or I'm sorry, no, that was Terry. No one cares that he's patting the ball. I agree with Terry.
Yeah.
I don't think that anybody cares that he's patting the ball. I don't know why I think it's just that reporters are running out of things to talk about, bro.
Literally.
They're on TV and they have nothing to talk about. They're like, oh, he touches the ball with his hand.
Mhm.
We hate that. It's so
Right?
bad. Don't make
How
no
is he
sense.
supposed to get? How is he supposed to get the snap from center with his elbows?
Ooh.
What do we got going on? in
Terry
chat
says
here?
he thinks that they pull a Texans move like they did last year with Will Anderson and CJ Stroud, and that they go 2 and 3, drafting the 2nd and 3rd pick, taking
Do you
both Colorado players.
Do they have the draft capital to do that?
They give the number 33 pick, so they could trade their
Am I-
first round next year and their 2nd round this year. And it
So
would
they're
be worth
gonna
it.
they're gonna mortgage their future again. No, I don't see the Browns doing that.
No, I do see the Browns doing that.
I
Now that
don't.
you mention it, because
I
it
don't.
sounds stupid, and that's a Browns thing to do.
Yeah, I mean it's a Browns thing to do, but I think they learned their lesson from this Deshaun Watson fiasco.
I don't.
So
Derpy, what do you think?
Can I say something?
yeah, go ahead, Dirk.
Am I the only one in the room that thinks that Hunter and Sanders are overrated?
I think that Sanders is overrated. I don't think Hunter
You're
is.
wrong, completely wrong about Hunter. Hunter is a stud.
I think Hunter is a freak athlete.
He is a freak athlete, but he lost in college a lot. So I mean,
I'll give you this. He has a point. Travis Hunter was not the best wide receiver or the best cornerback in the NFL. Or corner. I think I said corner.
Yeah.
But he did play both.
Mhm.
And he played 100% of the
He
snaps.
was still good at both of them.
In the
Right.
CF.
So you have to remember that his tank was less than everyone else's during the game, except for the start, because he was playing
Mhm.
more snaps than anyone else.
Yeah.
Do I kind of agree with you that he might be slightly overrated given how much everyone is talking about him? Maybe slightly at one position or the other, but he is going to be good at one or the other.
Yeah.
He's not going to be good at wide receiver and cornerback. He's either going to be a good cornerback or he's going to be a good wide receiver, I think. Or maybe he just ends up a really good kick returner too. There's a chance that he could end up being like Cordell Patterson, who was a first-round pick, not be good at wide
I
receiver.
think the better comp would be Devin Hester.
No, Devin Hester wasn't drafted to be a running back or a wide receiver. Though.
I understand this, but if we're just talking, never mind.
Cordell was drafted wide receiver, but then only could play
I
kick
know.
returner. And now he's
The same with Devin Hester.
now he's so fat that he's a running back who might get cut as soon as the draft's over.
That's what I mean. Well, I'm just saying the better comp is Devin Hester.
I guess. Did Devin Hester play cornerback in college?
No, he's wide receiver, running back, wide receiver.
Running back wide for Miami, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, either way, comps are comps, but I think that he's going to be good regardless, Derpy.
I don't think Hunter did any type of return. Did he return kicks in college?
I just don't like his resume in college. I don't like the resume in college. That's all.
Yeah. I think the thing that would be the most concerning for me about these two Colorado players is the spotlight that was put around them because of their head coach and the fact that they didn't actually win any like big bowl games or anything like that. They were always like top 20, but they were never like number 3 in the country or anything like that.
Yeah, but those three with Dion, Shooter, and Travis Hunter, they made Colorado relevant.
No,
in college football.
100%.
So
100%. Terry says, I think Hunter will be an 80-40 player, 80% defense, 40% offense. He's going to be on the field 120% of the time, according to Terry. Terry, I don't know how your math is mathing, but I like it, brother. I like it. Yeah, Derpy, we're gonna be closing out here soon. Is there anything in closing today that you wanted to add as a guest here today? Any topics or anything you wanted to talk about?
I have one more thing.
Yeah.
It's the Steelers again.
Okay.
Do you think they trade back?
I think that there is a large chance that one of two reasons make them trade back. Reason number one,
I think it would be smarter too.
What's that?
I think it would be smarter too.
Yeah,
to get more picks.
I think it would be smarter to now with the Pittsburgh Steelers coming up, guys, in 2026. They're going to have an additional 4 picks from Najee Harris, Justin Fields, the whole. We've talked about it. All those guys leaving. They're going to get 4 comp picks. Would it be better for the Steelers to load up, have upwards of 12 to 14 picks next year by selling their first round pick? Maybe. Is trading your pick away and not getting your next Cam Hayward a smart idea? No. I don't think that. So what I would say is if there is the guy that they want and value as a first round pick still there, they will take the pick. If let's say they have 4 guys and guy number 4 is maybe we'll take him, maybe we'll trade it away if we get a good option, and they're only down to the 4th guy, they're out. They'll take a second round pick this year and a second and third next year for their first or something. You know what I mean? Because they don't have a second round pick. Bring yourself back into the second round. Maybe take a stab at Milrow. Maybe get a couple extra picks for next round and a late extra round pick this year. Get rid of that first round pick. I could see it, but you'd have to be stepping into the right water. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I could see it. But yeah, no, I think there are guys in the first round that they do want to get in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
Like the kid from Oregon.
Harmon.
Yeah, Harmon.
There's
2 defensive tackles out of Oregon who are really good.
Green's good too.
Yeah, Mike Green.
Mike Green could be there.
Mm-hmm.
He's more of an edge rusher, but I think they could probably
They might be able to convert him, but I just don't see the Pittsburgh Steelers go after anybody on defense who isn't either a top 3 cornerback or the top safety in the first round, or an interior defensive lineman. There is no need for a defensive edge in any aspect, and there is no need for a linebacker in any aspect of the Steelers draft, other than maybe a 5th, 6th, or 7th round pick who plays special teams and is a tackler. Like a Mark Robinson. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something like that, Derpy. What do you feel about that?
I'm down.
Okay. In chat here, Terry says, what do y'all think about the rumors that Breece Hall is potentially being traded away from the Jets? Do you mean another poverty franchise is willing to trade away their star running back and they're from New York? Whoa, how crazy. That's abnormal. We have not seen that before. No, Terry, I think it's so stupid, the Jets. The Jets will jet. They're dumb. They're a dumb organization. I'm sorry, Jets fans out there. If there's any team that should be kicked out of their stadium, it should probably be the Jets.
I don't know why they would want to trade Brees Hall. Isn't his Madden ratings pretty good?
Ooh.
I'm still upset we got
Taking
lost
stabs. What'd you say there, buddy?
I said I'm still upset we lost Justin, but they're gonna make it worse situation with the Jets,
I'm
and they
upset
paid
we
him
lost.
far much more money.
I'm upset we
for
lost
it.
Justin. I don't know that he was the best person for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Do I really like him? Do I think he's great? Did I want to see him flourish as a Pittsburgh Steeler?
Yeah, I would love
All
to see
those
him,
things.
flourish as a Steeler.
But do I think that he at heart was a Pittsburgh Steeler? No.
No,
No, I think he liked it here. I think he was used to the weather and the climate, being out of, Columbus, playing
Yeah.
in college at Ohio State. I think this is a little more what he was used to, and he was,
I got to say something for
comfortable.
Red here. Comparing Brees
Yeah.
and Saquon is a little wild. I got to agree with that.
That is a little wild.
I'm comparing the situation, not the player.
yeah, just
Red.
the situation.
Just had to give
Get
Red his troll
outta
moment. That's
here.
all. All right, give me a
Red,
boys.
Red about to start talking Jonathan Taylor if we continue too long, Ben. We gotta clean her up and get out of here today. We got Madden football games to play. We've got content to post. Guys, make sure you're paying attention. Drop a like, smack a comment on any of our posts that you see out there. Really helps us spread the word of our channel throughout the algorithm. We love having you guys as our fans. We want to add. We want to be a big old fashioned fan base.
Also, make
You
sure
know?
you guys
Hell
check
yeah.
out the Derpsters channels and Two Dumb Yinzers as well.
Yeah, check them out. They're on the Red app. Derp, we can't say that word on this app or they shut us down. Oh, it's dumb. But anyways, guys, I appreciate everyone who watched here today. I appreciate you guys being in the Q&A section. Shout out to Derpy for joining us during the Q&A for a little guest appearance.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate that. Derpy, we'll have to bring you in for a little bit more of an inclusive show here in the future. But guys, in closing today, appreciate you. Draft coming up. You'll see Ben's 2.0 mock draft coming out here this week. Make sure you give him hell about it. Until the next one, we'll see you later. Peace out.
Peace.